What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Just Zander podcast, and I'm your host, Zander Gray, and we're here to talk about everything and anything that I have no idea about, but I have opinions on sometimes. And here we go. Full disclosure. Let's just get this out there. I recorded about 15 minutes of footage, and I was just talking and talking and talking as podcasters do on a podcast, and the audio wasn't recorded. Yeah. And guess what? I am a music producer. I am a producer, an artist, a musician, and I record stuff almost every day. I record music and vocals and make music and all that stuff every day. And this is the most simple to do, is to just film myself and record vocals. There's no crazy thing that I need to do. And I botched it because I'm an idiot. So, okay, that's how this podcast is going to start. Anyway, I hope everybody's doing well. So I'm releasing this on Tuesday. So, a day after my vlog from YouTube, but this is the setup now. So, I was using in the first podcast, I was using a lapel mic, and it was just, excuse me, I had to burp. It just didn't sound as good as I thought it would, because I couldn't really hear it through the headphones. I was just micing it, recording it through a phone, hoping that it'll sound cool. And it was a lot. It picked up a lot with the ruffling in the shirt, me yelling, and it's clipping, meaning it peaked. So I couldn't really fix that. And it just didn't sound as good as I want it to. Again, music producer, artist, musician, and yeah. So we're learning things, we're trying to get better. In this, my producer sitting across from me, psych, it's just me. I'm doing everything my own, at least for now. And yeah, so this is the new setup now. And I think using an actual microphone and listening to myself talk, I think is the best way. So I'm not doing too much. But yeah, so this week, let's talk about, this week, I guess. How is everything going? Well, I started working from home, but they cut my hours, which is understandable. I'm down to 6 hours now to, each day, Monday to Friday. So that's a bummer, but I still have a job for now. And I just don't know how it's going to go, especially with everything that's going on. But, it is what it is. And we try to make the best of it. By we, I mean me. So that's why I'm trying to grow the YouTube page, trying to grow this podcast, trying to make music, release music, and do all that stuff. Taking pictures, trying to get better at photography and videography, and trying to get better at video editing, trying to get better at talking to a camera. And yeah, I am stressed. So it's okay. Nothing booze can't help. Just kidding. Yeah, that was a mistake, drinking in the first podcast, because I was just slurring my words and just full of complete. So never again. So right now, currently, I just have tea. So I'm drinking tea. So, okay, so this week, let's talk about this week a little bit. What have I been up to besides working? So I planned on, getting things done pretty much with videos and music and whatnot. And I talked to a few friends of mine about this, you just tend to not, it just didn't go, nothing went as planned, as life is. Yeah, I think the biggest thing is trying to manage your time and trying not to take away from what you're doing for work and what you're doing in your personal life, trying to juggle the home stuff and the music stuff and the video stuff and work. And yeah, it just didn't turn out the way I want it to. And you just get restless and you just get stir crazy. Luckily, you can at least go outside. I can go outside for a little bit, get some fresh air, but man, it's only been a few days, which is crazy, but we'll get through this, all of us. We just have to again, this is speaking for myself as well, to myself. We have to. There's really no other choice, at least for me, we just have to make the best of it. And luckily, so grateful that there are people that like what I'm doing, I would assume, and that I'm just trying to get better at the craft with YouTube and podcasting and music in general, and getting a little bit of views, growing and all that. I think that's the goal, is to grow this podcast and grow the YouTube thing, and just to do as much as I can, just dipping my toes in everything that I find interesting and I find fun, and it takes me away from pretty much reality and what's going on by really talking about it. If you really think about it, with the YouTube and music and podcasting, I think for me, it's therapy. It really helps being able to talk about things. And I hope that with this channel, I hope that with this podcast, that I can be as genuine, as authentic as possible. And I can talk about my thoughts and share with you my hopes and dreams. And I hope you feel the same way too. I hope you feel inspired. I hope you feel that you can do the things you want to do as well. And right now is the time to do it. Man, I'm going to be honest, it's been hard lately. Just trying to find motivation and find inspiration and find being patient with growing things, with being patient with getting better at things, and not rush certain things that can't be rushed. And I think that's my problem, is I want to get things done right away. I want to be good right away. And it just doesn't work that way, unfortunately. And that's okay. That's okay. I see that now, and I feel that now. When you say it out loud, it's just, you just notice it, But anyway, so I was lucky enough to be invited to do a live stream on IG Live on Instagram by a friend of mine. And he was like, hey, do you want to perform some songs live, because you're an artist and stuff? I'm like, okay, yeah, that sounds like a plan. I have a couple of songs to play. And right when I said yes, I panicked. Because I haven't played live in forever. I haven't performed in forever. How am I going to do? Am I going to suck? Am I going to disappoint? All these motherfucking thoughts ran through my mind because, and if you're an artist, if you're a creative, if you're anything you do creatively, you feel this way. You feel like a motherfucking imposter. You feel like, are you good enough? Are you going to be validated? And you project, at least for me, I project like, oh, I don't care what people think. I don't care if you like me or not, but deep down, you do a little bit. You do, but I've realized, you can't have everybody love you. If you have half the people loving you and half the people hating you, I think you've done good, so, but it's hard to put that message in your head and belief, So anyway, so panicked. I panicked. I panicked. And yeah, I started. This is like, I think I had like 2 days to get prepared. Oh my goodness! So I went through my catalog, which is a lot actually, but I wanted to pick the right songs for Instagram, for the people to watch, and the songs that really showcase my vocal ability and my playing ability. And man, I think it turned out well. Um, I had a handful of people watched and enjoyed it, got good feedback from it, and which I am really, really grateful and appreciative. Full disclosure, I was super fucking nervous, and but it felt really good. It felt like home, and it just made me miss performing a lot. Yeah, it made me miss performing a lot. And I guess I can get into why I stopped. So I was playing in bands pretty much all my life. You suck till you, I don't know, I wasn't that good. I've never been good. And I just had to work on getting better. And I remember, I remember in high school that I tried out to so many bands and I just wasn't good enough. So I've been rejected since day one with music. And not to any fault of their own or my own. I just had no experience. And again, to I'm an immigrant. So coming here, I had to build relationships. I had to learn how to navigate through all of that. People, let me grab water real quick. Hold on. You never realize how much you really talk until you do stuff like this. Okay. Yeah, so I had to navigate around people that already built relationships and played music with their family or with their friends, and you have to kind of get into the circle. I had to navigate my way through that circle, and I always been shy, until I really get to know you. Then I shine, I guess would be the word for it. I become myself, but in the beginning, I'm quiet. I observe and see where I stand and where I sit. So in the beginning, playing music or wanting to play music, just it was it was hard because I wasn't that good. I had no experience, but I had goals, I had dreams, I had ambitions. And a lot of the bands that I try out for, they're like, You're not good enough," or like, "You don't sound like this person." And I didn't know who else to sound but me, which I knew beforehand, which I'm lucky that I do feel that way. That I so far have found the voice that I want and the voice. Anyway, so I'm used to being rejected. So when I started playing in bands, when I got better, I just actually backtrack a little bit. I just started my own thing. Just like, hey, you know what? It's just, if they don't want to play with me, then I have to work at getting better, and I have to start my own thing instead of auditioning for other bands. So I started my own band, played in bands for a while, a long time, and then it got to the point where I couldn't do it anymore. Meaning, not saying that I had to carry a lot of the weight. It was like it was me or one other person, or it was just me. It just felt like that I was pulling and pushing to get somewhere, and I felt alone most of the time, because it's not. to be a rock star, I guess, as the term would say, it's not, and that's not what I want, and it's not easy. There's so much work that goes into it, so much work with promoting, marketing, uh, um, doing the set, making sure that your songs are good, making sure that your performance is good, making sure that people show up to your shows, making sure that you're professional, making sure you get shirts done and the design is good, and the logo looks good, and make sure that your image, I mean, the image is fucking important. If you're an artist, if you're a band, and this is what I've learned throughout the years, you can't, if you're a shorts and t-shirt type of guy and that's you, that's the artist you want to be, then go for it. But your image is important in my mind. I know people agree with me. You have to look a certain way, and you have to make sure everything fits. And this, again, this is what I've learned quite recently, that the story that you are going to tell has to match with your artistry, your songs, what you're projecting, the message, the story, and everything else. It has to correlate with what you are about, and hopefully everything is genuine or authentic, and that's what I'm working on right now, currently. And it's hard. I'm still trying to find my voice, still trying to find my way, and what the fuck I'm doing and what the fuck I'm about. And so far, it's been good. I know what I want to be about. I know what the story that I want to tell. And I hope that the story or the message, it comes through. And I hope that people either agree with it or at least are inspired by it. That would be dope, And anyway, I keep rambling on. Oh yeah, so performed the IG live, and it went pretty well. I was nervous as shit, and especially what's going on now, you never really realize how much you touch your fucking face. You I was looking back at the video. I was touching my face a lot. And quite recently, when the whole thing happened, you have to obviously clean, and you thought you were clean before, but now it's like you have to wash your hands, you have to make sure you sanitize everything, and make sure you don't touch your fucking face. And then you touch your fucking face every minute, on the minute. Like right now, I'm fighting to touch my fucking face right now. But I mean, I have the mic right in front of me, so it's like, I don't want to get in the way, but yeah, it's crazy. And again, I wore the loudest shirt that I could find in my wardrobe, and I think I look dope, at least in my head, I hope. But wow, see, told you. When when people tell you you can't touch your face, everything on your face just itches, like every spot. You just like, oh, I just want to scratch my face. Okay. All right, well, I think that is it. I think what I wanted to talk about today more than anything is listening back to the first podcast. I realized that that it can't be a funny podcast. I really want it to be a funny podcast, but I just realized I'm not funny. Well, I think I'm more naturally funny more than anything, but I can't. You can't just be funny. It just has to work out. And I think I was trying really, really hard on the first one, just trying to figure out what to talk about. And like right now, and I think I'm gonna work towards more being on being genuine, authentic, and just let whatever comes out come out. I think that is the best way to do it, and I hope that people find it interesting. I hope that you want to hear what I have to say. I hope that you I have a lot of stories to tell. I guess I'm just trying to find the right time to do it. Especially being an immigrant, especially being in this country, especially with being a person of color. You have a lot of stories. Not saying that if you're not, you don't. It's like I just looking back, I realize I have a lot of stories to tell about my mom, about my dad, uh, the shit that I went through. Has a lot of things to tell, and I hope to be able to do that soon. And I hope to entice you in coming back and hearing me speak. Um, and I think one of my goals too is to just get used to this and get used to having a conversation with the camera, and just hopefully that my tone and my timbre and the way I speak is good, pretty much. I listen back to how I talk, and I hate the way I sound, but it is what it is. I also want to do like a ASMR type of video and podcast. Maybe not a podcast, but maybe on YouTube, to just like maybe like tell a story in this kind of voice. Like a nursery story, or like just a scary story or something like that. I think that'd be cool to do. Please don't steal my idea. That's my idea. But I mean, if you want to do it too, you can. I think it's fun. So like right now, does it give you goosebumps when I talk like this, like really close? I hope I'm not clipping the mic being this close to the microphone. But anyway, yeah. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you for taking the time. Please, if you find this interesting, let me know. You can find me on Instagram at just Zander with a Z. You can also find me on Facebook, Zander Gray, on YouTube, Zander Gray. Pretty much everything else is at just Zander Gray. My Instagram is at just Zander. So I'm on there quite a bit. So if you want to DM me on there, please do. And again, like I want to get better at things. I think that's my goal, is to get better at the things that I love doing. And I'm working towards that right now. So anyway, please listen, rate, 5-star it. Hopefully you 5-star it, and then leave a comment on this podcast. And again, thank you for stopping by. Thank you for taking the time to listen to me. And I really, really appreciate each and every one of you. And I'll get better. I'll tell more stories, and hopefully I inspire you to do things. And I can, hopefully I get funnier. Maybe not, but okay. Well, goodbye, and be safe out there, and take care. Bye. Oh my Lord, I can't find